clash of the jungle kings in the heart of the wild, where dense forests met the golden savannas. Two mighty beasts ruled their respective domains. Kwasi, the fierce and cunning Bengal tiger, was the undisputed ruler of the jungle, while Oluwaseun, the powerful and majestic lion, reigned over the vast grasslands. Their territories were separated by a winding river, but their legends had traveled far and wide. One day, as Kwasi roamed near the edge of his jungle, he heard a deep, rumbling roar echo across the water. Oluwaseun stood on the opposite bank, his golden mane gleaming in the sun. "Tiger! I hear many call you the strongest beast in the wild," Oluwaseun bellowed. "But I am the true king of all creatures. If you dare, come and prove yourself." Kwasi growled, his amber eyes narrowing. "Strength is not measured by words, lion. If you wish to test it, I accept your challenge." Thus, the greatest battle of the wild was set. News of the impending clash spread like wildfire, drawing animals from far and wide to witness the historic duel. The next day, creatures from all corners of the land arrived at the riverbank. Elephants, wolves, leopards, zebras, and even the usually timid deer gathered in anticipation. The wise old elephant, Adebayo, was chosen as the referee. "This battle shall be fair," Adebayo announced. "The one who forces the other into submission shall be declared the strongest. But this is not a fight to the death. Strength is also measured in wisdom." The crowd murmured in agreement, and the combatants prepared for battle. Meanwhile, a few animals debated among themselves about who would emerge victorious. The cunning fox, Chinonzo, believed Kwasi's speed and strategy would prove superior. "The tiger is stealthy and agile. He knows how to take down even the largest prey with precision," she argued. The burly rhino, Sifu, disagreed. "The lion is larger, with a powerful bite. He rules the savannah for a reason. His sheer strength will prevail." The debate only fueled the anticipation as the sun climbed high in the sky, signaling the beginning of the contest. Kwasi and Oluwaseun circled each other, their muscles rippling with power. Then, with a mighty leap, Kwasi struck first, his claws slashing through the air. Oluwaseun dodged with feline grace and countered with a powerful swipe of his own. The jungle trembled as the two titans clashed. Kwasi used his agility, weaving in and out with swift, precise attacks. Oluwaseun, larger and stronger, relied on his brute force to overpower his opponent. For hours, they fought, neither willing to yield. Claw met claw, fang met fang, and the ground beneath them bore the scars of their battle. At one point, Kwasi managed to leap onto Oluwaseun's back, attempting to bring him down with his immense strength. Oluwaseun roared in fury and twisted, throwing Kwasi off with a tremendous shake. The tiger landed gracefully, but felt the toll of the battle pressing upon him. As the fight raged on, they tested each other's endurance. Kwasi's speed began to falter, his once lightning-fast movements slowing. Oluwaseun, too, felt the weight of the battle as his mighty limbs grew heavier. Yet neither would yield. As the sun began to set, exhaustion weighed on both warriors. Yet, their pride would not allow them to surrender. Kwasi panted heavily, his stripes marred by wounds. Oluwaseun's golden fur was stained with dust and blood, but he stood firm. "Enough!" Kwasi's voice boomed. "This battle proves only that you are both mighty beyond words. But tell me, what has been gained?" The crowd fell silent. Kwasi and Oluwaseun stared at each other, realization dawning in their eyes. The fox, Chinonzo, whispered, "They are equals."
neither can truly defeat the other.
The rhino Sefu nodded slowly. Perhaps the greatest strength is knowing when a battle should end. The wise owl, Zamani, added, "Strength is not just in combat, but in leadership. What kind of rulers will you be if you let pride consume you?" Kwasi exhaled, his shoulders relaxing. Perhaps the strongest beast is not the one who fights without end, but the one who knows when to stop. Oluwasen nodded. We are both kings in our own right. Why should we seek to prove one greater than the other? The tension dissolved as both warriors stepped back, their conflict turning into mutual respect. The crowd cheered, not for a victor, but for the wisdom both had displayed. From that day forward, Kwasi and Oluwaseun ruled their respective lands in peace, their battle becoming a legend told for generations. That evening, under the glow of the moon, the two mighty beasts stood by the riverbank once more. If ever the jungle or savanna face a greater threat, we shall fight side by side, Kwasi declared. Oluwaseun grinned. Agreed. The true strength of kings is not in conquering each other, but in protecting those who depend on them. Months later, a great drought struck the land, forcing prey and predators alike to seek the same dwindling water sources. Kwasi and Oluwaseun, recalling their promise, united their forces to ensure that no creature perished due to greed or thirst. Through their wisdom and cooperation, both their kingdoms flourished in difficult times. Then came the invaders, humans with their weapons and machines, threatening to destroy their lands. The tiger and lion, once rivals, stood together as leaders of all the animals, rallying them to drive out the intruders. They fought not just for their pride, but for the future of the wild. Through battles of wit and strength, they outmaneuvered the humans, forcing them to retreat. Once again, the balance of the jungle and savanna was restored, and Kwasi and Oluwaseun became legends not just for their fight against each other, but for their fight to protect their home. As peace settled once more, Kwasi and Oluwaseun traveled their lands together, ensuring their newfound unity endured. They visited the watering holes, ensuring no creature went thirsty. They spoke with their fellow rulers, the wolves of the highlands, the eagles of the cliffs, and the mighty crocodiles of the river, to build alliances beyond their own kingdoms. One day, an old lioness approached Oluwaseun, her eyes filled with wisdom and sadness. There is a legend of a great predator that lurks deep within the mountains, one that neither lion nor tiger has faced before. It is said to be stronger, faster, and more cunning than any beast we know. Intrigued, Kwasi and Oluwaseun decided to journey together into the unknown, determined to uncover the truth. Their adventure took them through uncharted forests, perilous cliffs, and icy rivers. They faced new challenges, from treacherous landslides to cunning rival beasts. Yet through it all, they relied on each other's strengths. At last, they reached the heart of the mountains, where a monstrous black panther awaited, a creature unlike any they had faced. The battle that ensued would test them beyond anything before, proving that even the strongest must continue to learn and grow. Their legend had only just begun. The end.